Welcome to another edition of the Wranglers Roundup, talking Northern Arizona Wranglers football with Coach Les Moss and the Wranglers broadcast team of James Poovey and Ed Cole. Let's ride.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in for the newest edition of the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. My name is James Poovey, play-by-play voice of the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Pleased to be joined this evening by my color analyst, Mr. Ed Cole. And we also have Coach Les Moss joining us here this evening. We're going to have a great time tonight, guys. We're going to talk Northern Arizona Wranglers football, chop it up. We're also going to have special guests, including an offensive and defensive player, and, of course, our special guest, Mr. Coach Moss. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you?
We're doing good. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. We're ready to get things going. Home opener coming up this Saturday night. We played in Las Vegas this previous Friday evening. Unfortunately, 22-9 was the final outcome there. Bright spots were had on the field that night, Coach, in Las Vegas. Let's talk about some of those and then how we look forward to the home opener coming up this Saturday.
Well, James, I thought we played, defensively, I thought we played very well. We held them to 22 points. That should be good to win a game, good enough to win a game. Special teams-wise, we played well also. We had a block kick almost for a touchdown, ran back a kickoff. Close to a touchdown. We have a lot of room to grow on offense. And, that was the first time out for a lot of guys. We have 14 rookies on our roster. Our whole offense, that was their first time not being in an arena because we were able to practice in an arena, but it was first game speed, environment that they'd been in. And so, we just didn't play well offensively. I mean, that's just plain and simple. But, there were some bright spots. I thought our offensive line held up pretty good against them. This game's a little different. These guys have got to learn to play this game. And, it's a fast game. It's a very quickly paced game. And, it was a very humbling experience for a lot of us, me included. That was the worst offensive performance in my career over 30 years. But I really felt like the defense played great. I thought the special teams played excellent. Offense always comes along a little slower. We were playing with two rookie quarterbacks that had never seen the game before. So, there's plenty of room for improvement. We know that we have the right pieces. We know that we have a talented roster, and the sky's the limit for these guys. We just got to, improve, make improvements every week.
Coach, how tough was it preparing for a team that you've never seen before, considering the Nighthawks were an expansion team and you've only had your team basically for about a month so to kind of get them together, offense, defense, and special teams? Was it kind of tricky for you and your coaching staff to kind of scheme up and get ready for Vegas?
No, we don't really worry too much about what the other teams do. We just kind of worry about what we do. And that's been our approach. We got to worry about, ourselves. There's only so many things that they can do offensively and defensively. We got a lot in on offense, so our defense has gotten a good look of a lot of stuff. Now we haven't perfected anything, but we do have a lot in, and our defense has done a great job of adjusting. But they were in the same boat. I mean, we had film on Coach Davis from back in 2016 when he was the head coach of the Nebraska Danger, and they did a lot of the same things defensively that we saw. We knew a few of their personnel, a few of their players that played on our team last year when we were in Iowa. Coach Keefe and I were in Iowa. So, but you don't know until you get out there and play a game exactly what you're going to see. I thought defensively we did a good job of making adjustments, and we weren't so good offensively. But again, these guys are young. They don't have any experience playing games, so. That game counts, but, you almost go into that thing knowing that there are going to be mistakes. The one thing that was a huge positive is we only had 3 penalties. We had a holding, we had a defensive pass interference, and we had one delay a game. And, in the first game of the season, after 8 days of training camp and 6 days of practice, that's a pretty good deal.
I think you'll take that most times.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
Coach?
yeah, absolutely. And obviously we're not satisfied with our point production on offense, but that'll come. We had, like I said, we had some bright spots, but they're growing pains, and I mean we don't like it, but that's just what we have to do with a short training camp. There's not a lot you can do, so we got a lot in. These guys got a chance to look at themselves and get evaluated from the coaching staff, and and they'll get better. They'll grow. So, we just have to be patient.
Although Kaleb didn't have the best day in the office on Friday against Vegas, what did you see from him?
Well, we had guys open. The speed of the game, I think, got to him a little bit. We had an interception on a 4th down play that, if we're going to have an interception, we want it on 4th down. We had a 1st down interception. We want to avoid those. We had a couple mishaps with the ball slipping out of the back of his hands. So, he'll make adjustments with that. He does throw a good ball. He was a little high. Those balls were slick. He's got to get used to the atmosphere, get acclimated to playing indoors. The speed of the game, I think, caught him a little bit by surprise. There's a difference between practice speed and game speed. And this game is fast, and it's played at pro speed, which is a lot more speed than in college. Everything happens faster. The field's reduced. You got 16 guys on the field. That's a quarter of the size of the outdoor field where you have 22 guys. So things happen quick, and mistakes are magnified in this game. So, but it was a great learning experience for him. He's only going to get better as a player. I mean, it takes live reps at the quarterback position, and nobody comes in. Heck, I can remember Kurt Warner when he came in to the AFL. Those first few games, he wasn't very good either, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So,
yes, that's exactly
so there's,
right.
there was plenty of good and bad to take away from the game film, but the big thing is these guys got to see themselves in a game situation, and they will improve.
Absolutely, Coach. We got home early Saturday morning. You guys had film, I'm sure, on Saturday. I believe the players had the day off on Sunday. How was practice today? And now we turn the page and look toward the Bay Area Panthers, who we're going to get to see in action a little bit later tonight as they play around 8:05 local time here this evening.
Well, today was preparation day. It was a lift day for us. We start our major preparation Tuesday. We work 4 days back from the game. We don't play until Saturday, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
For us on that. So we don't have any film on them. Obviously, they play here shortly, and we'll be watching them tonight. We'll get that game film, be able to dissect it and break it down. But really, right now, all we're worried about is improving, ourselves and improving our team. And we really don't have to look at a lot of film. We just need to worry about what we're doing, and our execution offensively.
Coach, the community is excited about our first home game, Bay Area, on Saturday, 6:05 at Pinnacle Bank Field at Finlay Toyota Center. I'm sure you're excited to get your first home game in as the head coach of the Northern Arizona Wranglers. How are you feeling about your first coaching home game?
Well, it's not my first home game. I've had a lot of them, but no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm really excited. It's going to be great to be in front of this crowd for the first time. I think they're going to be proud of this team. I think that they're going to like the way that they play. They play hard. They play with a lot of emotion. That's the one good thing about the game the other night. They kept playing the whole game. They didn't stop the entire game. They didn't get discouraged. They went out there for every snap and took every rep. And it was a great learning experience. And like I said, the sky's the limit for these guys. They're going to get better and better, and we're going to have a very competitive team this year.
Coach Les Moss joining us here on the Wranglers Roundup. Coach, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming on with us, and we look forward to catching up with you throughout the season and checking on the progress of this team as we go forward.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
We appreciate your time. Stay with us here. We'll take a short timeout and come right back with the quarterback from the Northern Arizona Wranglers, Mr. Kaleb Barker. He'll join us after these messages from Cliff Castle Casino. Stay with us here on the Wranglers Roundup right here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel.
There's a little piece of magic in the heart of the Verde Valley, where adventure is encouraged. Whether you're whining and dining, rocking and rolling, or pushing and pulling, it's your adventure. Play however you choose.
Welcome back to the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. My name is James Poovey alongside my color analyst, Mr. Ed Cole. We are pleased now to be joined by the quarterback for the Northern Arizona Wranglers, Mr. Kaleb Barker. Kaleb, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Appreciate you joining us here and taking the time. Let's talk about the game that just happened on Friday night for just a brief moment. Obviously, not the outcome that we wanted or expected, but things to improve on and bright spots to build on. Talk a little bit about your performance that night and then how you learn. We always say we don't ever lose. We just learn, and we move forward, turn the page on that game, and work harder for the next team. Talk about that evening just for a moment.
I think just having a short memory, like you just said, we just watched the film today, so obviously a lot to improve on. As you said, that's not, how we want to play the game. So offense full of rookies. I wouldn't say it was to be expected, but there was, mistakes to be made. But after seeing the film, I think it was encouraging seeing that a lot of it was, little mistakes and just not executing the plays. And I take full responsibility for that as the quarterback, but definitely not my best outing. But I'm eager to get on the practice field tomorrow and turn that around this week. So
absolutely.
Kaleb, the indoor situation, was it a different feeling for you when you got out there, or did you just kind of compartmentalize and just kind of lock in and focus compared to being outside, playing outside football your whole career? We talked about that in your initial interview when we talked with you. So how was the feeling once you got on the field and you were like, everything's enclosed as opposed to being outdoors in an outdoor stadium?
I mean, it's different. The speed it's fast. It's really fast, but I think, I have to get my mindset into an indoor type. If we're at 3rd and long, we're typically going to go for it on 4th down, so we don't need to take the long route, necessarily. We can take the short check down at 5 yards, and if he makes a guy miss, we may get a 1st down or we're at 4th and manageable. So I think just, flipping my mindset, and I already feel like I'm a better quarterback after that first week, just getting those game reps in and, moving forward, as I said. So,
was it faster than you thought it would be?
Yes. Games are always faster doesn't matter what level you're at. Practice is one speed and then games are another speed. So it just means, my decision making has to be faster and crisper, and I have to be on time with the ball and be accurate. So I'm eager. I've watched the film about 6 times, so I'm very eager to practice this week and turn things around this weekend. So
you seem to be one of those players that is just going to be chomping at the bit, literally, to get back out there tomorrow and fix the mistakes, correct some things, improve on a lot of things that you did well. There were bright spots in the game, Ed. A lot of bright spots actually to build on, especially when you think of this football team. We're brand new this season.
Right.
Every single one of these players is brand new to this organization. In some light, we're an expansion team as well, a whole brand new team, so it's going to take time to gel, but I can see that you're the leader of this team and you're able to galvanize these guys, and you'll bring them back together, and good things are going to happen out there on Pinnacle Bank Field this Saturday night at the Findlay Toyota Center.
Absolutely. Kaleb, what do you like about your wide receivers and your running back? Everybody that you have, all of your weapons at your disposal, what do you like about them?
I'm getting to know them day by day, and they're a really good group of guys, easy to get along with, and I think we all love the game, and I think this past weekend was a very humbling experience for all of us, and it'll either make us hungry or it'll make you fold, and I don't think this is a bunch of guys that are going to fold, so I think we're all very eager to turn it around, but it's a very talented group of guys, as you would expect as professional football. So, yeah, that's a good look at Boom right there. But
taking a look at one of those talented guys right now, what does it mean to have guys around you like that, a really good supporting cast? The defense played really well, I thought, Ed, on Friday night. And a lot of things went well on Friday. Unfortunately, 22-9, it doesn't look that way, but there were bright spots in that football game. You got a great supporting cast along with a great defense, a lot to build on.
Right. And, having a great defense is it's only a positive. I just got to get the ball to the playmakers' hands. That's really my only job. Be on time, read the defense, and get it to the open man and let him do his thing, whoever that may be. And, our offense is beautiful in that way, in that everybody's going to get a chance to make a play. It's not a one-man show. It's, guys are inside releasing to get the outside guy open, or vice versa. You know, I mean, it's everybody working together to make, you know, the guys open. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, I think that's the fourth time I've said that, but
I can tell. I like the smile too as well, Kaleb.
I'm very ready for practice tomorrow.
You've
like
got your
ready,
wife and your beautiful baby girl out here with us tonight. It's great that they're coming out and sharing the evening. We appreciate you taking the time out. We look forward to watching you progress as the season goes along, and we're going to have some more fun this Saturday night right around the corner there at the Finley Toyota Center.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kaleb, for coming on with us. We appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, Kaleb.
We'll take a short break here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. Come right back for more. Linebacker Darren Hungerford's going to join us after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back here to the Colt Grill in Prescott Valley right after this.
You got a voice, Molly. Use it. Do it for the phones.
Let's do it for the phones. They do so much for you. When they're out there all alone, there's something we can do. T-Mobile, look at these maps, they don't lie. And faster speeds nationwide. Let's do it for the phones.
Welcome back to the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. James Poovey alongside my color analyst, Mr. Ed Cole. We're pleased to be joined now by linebacker Darin Hungerford of the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Darin, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing good. I appreciate you guys for having me tonight.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on with us.
No,
Let's
for
talk
sure.
about that game just for a moment. Last Friday night,
Yes, sir.
some bright spots. You had one of those bright spots, a very nice pass break up there
Yes, sir.
near the goal line. And how much fun was it to play the inaugural game? We talked about it, I think, on the bus on the way up there. You were just
you
ready to
did.
get that first hit in and just light somebody up, get those
sure.
jitters out, and then play some football. How was it?
That's all it takes. Definitely ready to get the jitters out. It was fun from beginning to end, just being with the guys and having fun. You know, we've been working hard since training camp, you know, trying to learn the scheme and everything like that. So for it to all come together on Friday night, it was fun to be out there with the guys for sure.
Just the aggression that we had from the front line, from the D line, from you at the linebacker position in that secondary. Everybody was playing their part, Darren. Everybody, I love the aggression from the secondary when their quarterbacks dropped back to pass. Our corners and our secondary, everybody in our secondary was aggressive. You were there in the middle, manning the middle, that defensive line. Uric in the middle, number 93 at that nose tackle spot. Just the aggressiveness. How cool is it to play, even though it's only been one game, how cool is it to be a part of this defense, as aggressive as it plays? If it plays like this every single week, this is going to be a fun team to watch.
I'm telling you, just being around this group of guys that we you know, the coaches have recruited since the day we walked in. We got together. The camaraderie was there from the moment we walked in the room together, and that defensive room is very special. I'll say that. Just with the group of guys, I feel like we feed off each other. We all have that same mentality. We're wired the same. And, you know, when we get in the room and it's time to work or practice or study or whatever we got to do, like, we push each other in every aspect, weight room wise. So I really believe by the end of this year, the whole IFL will understand that this defensive room and this team as a unit is built with very, you know, tough, mentally tough, physically tough guys, and you know we will show it.
And Darren, that's amazing for it to only be about a month or so since training camp has begun, for you guys to already have that bond and that brotherhood and that camaraderie already. How quick? Why did it come about so quickly?
You know, it was actually, you know, I've talked to this with a couple of the guys. It was actually really crazy because I've never been on a team. You know, I think we brought 43 in, but you know, even the guys who aren't with us anymore, it was like all of us together. It was like from the moment we got together and we went to the physio room and we met up for that first time, it was just laughs, you know, joking around like we knew each other for years, and it was like we all come from different parts, or maybe somebody might know somebody from here. So surprisingly, it's a small world, so we all kind of know somebody or somebody who knew somebody, and it was just like it brought us together quick.
Very good.
Yeah, like you and me finding out we're DMV boys.
I was say we're from the DMV together.
And
Coach Keith too. It's like
yes,
little things like that, and it's like, you know,
we got to rep the DMV, of course.
Always.
How important is that connection, though, Darren, with your teammates, that you guys are boys not only on the field but off the field as well? After the game, you know, let's go to the hotel on the way. You know, we're setting up the Xbox. We're going to get together and hang out for a little bit, talk some strategy. How important is that bond when you get down in the trenches and things are down in the dumps, and you know you can rely on each other to get each other back up where you need to be.
I feel like with the, when you look at the greatest teams that, when you look at those makeups of the team, that's where it starts. When you know you can go to war with somebody and they're going to have your back 100%, you do nothing less than give your 100%. And just to go to war with guys who regardless how the game's going, we're going to fight to the end, till the clock says 0-0-0, and we're going to compete. We're going to have fun doing it. And, when you know that a team full of guys has your back, it just makes you want to play that much harder. And like I said, I really feel like we do feed off each other just as far as mentality, like attacking and, being aggressive and stuff like that. Because when you're playing with a group of guys like we have, it's like, if you don't make the play, the next guy's going to make the play. So it's like we're all competing at the same time, and it makes it fun. It really does. It really does.
And then let me throw out another word, accountability.
Yes.
It looks like all of you and your brothers are accountable to each other, which is why you guys played so well on Friday night,
100%.
and you should continue to play. As long as you keep you hold each other to a high standard, then what you did on Friday night, you can only get higher from there.
That's the most exciting part is, that was the first one, but to see where we'll be 3 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, 10 weeks from now, I'm really excited to, keep working and improving and see where we can really take this.
I mean, it's pretty good after a very short amount of time just playing together. We're taking some looks at your former tape here. This is from Germany, Chris.
Yeah,
what are we looking at here? Tell us what we're looking at right here.
So this is my GFL tape right here. I did my first year was in 2019. I played both seasons with the same exact team that we're watching, the Kiel Baltic Hurricanes, up there in northern Germany in Kiel. And it was a very good time. I had some very good relationships up there, and we had a couple good seasons, and it was fun for sure.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
A little bit. German was hard. Look, I'm gonna tell you, German was hard. I tried my best, learned a little bit, but not too much. I wasn't too successful. I'm not gonna lie.
Darren, how different is the German game compared to the American game of football? Is it any different?
As far as, it's not too much different. It's different rules. As far as most of the time it was 2 Americans on the field at one time. So, on offense and defense, that's how it was worked. So you get your quarterback, maybe a wide receiver, a running back. Defense, you could go D-line. Safety, you could go linebacker. Corner, you could, the coaches kind of figure out how they want to make up their team as far as that, and then from there it's just like you get international imports from different countries and stuff.
So
like
you're
that.
telling me they would only allow 2 Americans on the field at a time on each side of the ball, or one side of the ball?
On one side of the ball, so 2 on offense, 2 on defense.
Wow. How about that, Ed?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
So 4 on a team altogether.
Interesting
Yes, sir.
stuff right there.
That's very interesting. Well, Darren, we're going to turn the page and get ready for Bay Area. I know they're getting ready to play their inaugural game this evening, but this will be your first home game. You'll get to represent on Pinnacle Bank Field at Finlay Toyota Center. How excited are you to get in front of the home fans and get ready to take on Bay Area on Saturday?
Definitely excited, a new opportunity, to get on the winning side of things, and we're going to prepare hard this week. We know everybody's first game last week, we got the jitters out, things like that. So this week we're really looking to take that next step, improve as players in every way that we can, and really lock in on the little things, and start this thing, get it rolling.
Things are evolving. They're coming together pretty quickly, and it's going to do nothing but get better as we go forward.
I agree.
Now, we assume that you got the link out to everybody so they can watch the game this Saturday night. They know where to go, Indoor Football League YouTube channel and all that fun stuff, right?
Darren, how's the ticket request been? I'm sure everybody, all your boys around the world, your family's like, man, we got to come into Prescott Valley to see you on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely have.
A lot of ticket requests?
Yeah, my mother, she's like, oh, I'm going to start a group chat. And, I got to get everybody out there one time. I would say I'm definitely trying to look at the schedule, see what works best for her and everybody else, and I'm excited for them to get out here. I know it'll be a great atmosphere here in Prescott, and I'm excited for the fans because we got something special coming for sure.
Linebacker Darren Hungerford right here from the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Thank you so much for your time.
No
we appreciate you, my man.
Guys. That was fun.
And we look forward to you wrecking some things in the offensive backfield this weekend at Finlay Toyota Center, just right around the corner.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Stay with us here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers. One more segment to go. We will be joined by Lexe Niekamp, the dance coach for the Northern Arizona dance team called the Mustangs. She'll join us right after we take a short break here and come right back to the Colt Grill. Stay with us. One more segment to go.
If you're struggling to pay your energy bill or know someone who is, we're here to help. Find APS bill assistance programs to reduce your monthly payment or help pay down the bill. Short-term relief like crisis bill assistance can help during a rough patch, while our energy support program can reduce your bill every month. Explore all your assistance options and see if you qualify at aps.com/here to help.
Welcome back inside the Colt Grill here in Prescott Valley, Arizona. Pleased to be joined now by the Mustangs Dance Coach, Mrs. Lexe Niekamp. Lexe, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Hey, we appreciate your time. Now, talk to us a little bit about your journey here to Prescott Valley. Did you grow up here? Where are you from? Take us a little bit through your dance journey and then how you ended up here in Prescott Valley.
Yeah, of course. So I moved to Prescott 15 years ago. And this was our closest family. We moved from California. We had a death in the family, and we moved to our closest family. We came here during Christmas, and Prescott being Christmas, like the Christmas city, it was absolutely amazing, and we fell in love with it. So we picked up and moved here. And then my dance journey, I started dancing when I was 4 years old. And that was something that was always very important to me and just an outlet and a safe space for me. So I opened up a dance studio to give back because I was on scholarship. I come from a single parent household. And being on scholarship in dance, it wasn't necessarily something that you pride yourself in the 90s.
Okay.
So
sure.
Nowadays, it is something completely different. When you say scholarship, everyone's like, congratulations, you got a scholarship. And so I opened up a studio that does base itself off of giving people scholarships. It should never hold you back to be able to dance. And I have had my studio for 6 years now. We're coming up on 6 years in June. We're really excited. But how I got involved with Prescott Valley and the Wranglers really is at a press conference. I went to their very first press conference, and I've always been very aligned with people's values.
Okay.
And before I said anything, because I walked into the conference, of course, with an intent to talk about a dance team. Now, I wanted to hear what Chris and Trey had to say about the team and what their values were and see if we even aligned, to see if we could even work together.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And the second that they said, like, we want to work as a community, we want this team involved in our community, and the second they said the words community, I was like, okay, like, you guys are me, I am you, like, let's do this. So they asked if there was any questions, and I stood up in the middle of the conference. And they were like,
when's the first practice? That was your only question, right?
Exactly.
When do you want me for the first practice?
Exactly. I said, you guys have a dance team. And Trey was like, well, I never actually thought about that. Like, that's not something that, like, really went into the thought process of that. Like,
but then the light bulb went off in your head.
Exactly.
Hello.
And he was like, well, I guess we're going to have to look into that. And I said, well, when you're ready, I'm ready. And they gave me a call like a week later. I had my interview with Chris, and we just talked it up and really wanted to involve something like another aspect, I guess, to the indoor football league, because it's so awesome to have every aspect. Like, for example, so many people have so many different passions. And I think that, like, for example, some people will just come for the dance team.
Sure.
Some people will just come for the football. But it's so cool to have and inspire younger who are maybe dancers already to be like, I want to be like them one day, or I can be someone who's giving back to the football team that doesn't necessarily have to play football. And I think that that's so important to give that extra ambiance and experience for the fans as well.
Well, you guys are a very important part of the whole entertainment,
the whole production
value when you come out to an indoor football league game. You do a great job of preparing every week. Can you just really quickly take us through a day in the life of a Mustangs dancer? How much are you guys practicing? Is it like a early morning thing? Does it have to work out with everybody's work schedule? I know there's always that going on.
Yeah.
And then Lexe, can I do a plan? Can I do an amend to that? Your thought process on the dance routines that you do. How do you come up with the different dance routines from week to week?
Yeah.
And how does that really come in your thought process? And then you actually play it out, and then you and your dance group, you put it on and you do a great job at it.
Yeah, so it all starts with a really great support system of having Chris and Trey really tell me what goes on throughout the game. Because obviously anything live, there's going to be different timeouts. There's going to be different things. But just letting me know that timeouts are 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I have to cut some of my songs to 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Sure.
So if I choose a nice song, it might not sound good for 1 minute and 30 seconds. You might need to hear the whole song for that. So that's kind of where I started with all of our routines, is you have to know your timing and how much you can actually give back and what kind of routines. So we primarily focus on jazz and hip hop.
Okay.
Because those are the two dance styles that really like feed into an audience and an audience can really thrive with. And so we do a lot of jazz and hip hop routines, as well as where I find my inspiration, I guess you could say, is it's a lot of soul digging. Like it's hard because I think that it's so, you have to go back to the values of the team. So what is the team trying to portray? What are we trying to give to the community that is around us? So in choosing songs, making sure that they are clean and audience friendly, family friendly. We are a family-based team. Like we want this to be a family experience. That's why we do the tailgating. We do all of that extra things. When it comes to practicing, we practice 2 to 3 times a week. We do have a strengthening and conditioning day. And that really is to make sure that all of us Mustangs are prepared and able to run across that field, because once you're on that field, it's a whole different level than when you're in a dance studio working. It's a lot smaller, tighter of a space, and you can get to your formations really nice. And then when you get on the field, it's a whole nother level. And being a field that is not real grass, it fights against you. And so you have to have the correct shoes, the correct uniforms, the correct lungs. And so I think it's so important that who we chose to be on the team this year, especially having a team of 11, it's great. But we have strengthening and conditioning days for that and for those purposes mainly. But we also have days where we work all of our routines as well. Or we say, oh, let's walk around the studio and act like we're talking to fans. So we'll literally walk around and do fan tests where we are ready to intermingle with our fans. And interaction is so important, because I think that although all these fans are coming into our house to experience something, it's important for us to be able to walk up to them and be like, hey, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
We appreciate that. And instilling that they are part of our community and making them feel comfortable. So we go through a lot of different things. We go through picture posing. That's another thing that a lot of you probably don't think oh, they don't practice how to pose for pictures. Right. We do. We have to. Just so that if it's a younger kid, we're not going to stand up and be tall and then the kid's down here.
Yeah, sure.
We have to get down to their level. We have to make sure the way we're posing in our uniforms is appropriate. And so we have a lot to practice, not just the routines.
Wow.
Definitely a lot. I'm exhausted, Ed.
Me too. I'm done. Wow.
Yeah.
No, that is really great stuff. You guys put a lot of work in. That's one of the reasons we wanted to have you come on here, because you are an integral part of the organization, and especially from a fan's perspective. And that connection that you guys make with the fans is really important. It will get them to come back to the game, because people don't ever really remember what you say, but they always remember how you made them feel.
That's right. It really is. Lexe, for anybody that's interested in doing what you do and what your team does, tell them about your dance studio. Yeah. How can they get in contact with you? We know you're really big on IG. You're really big on social media. So give them your social channels, how they can get in contact with you, and maybe hopefully set up a time to meet with you at your dance studio and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, for sure. So my dance studio's website is lessonsbylexe.com. And it's spelled Lexe. That is how my original name is spelled. I'm Alexis with an ES, not an IS. And you can email me from my website, so it's really cool from there, but it's lessonsbylexe@gmail.com, as well as you can follow all the handles, Lessons by Lexe Dance Studio. That's on Instagram and on Facebook, as well as I have personal accounts as well, Lexe Niekamp. You'll see a lot of Wranglers stuff, a lot of title holder stuff. I'm actually Miss Copper State right now, so I compete for the job of Miss Arizona in June.
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much. And that's part of the reason also why my social impact is arts. And so it's always about instilling arts in our communities, our schools, and just for everyone to have that outlet to either be on one side of the arts and actually performing it versus being on the other side and just embracing it.
Yes.
And so the arts brings people together, and I think that that's what's so important. So be sure to check me out. Yeah.
Lexe, for any young lady or young man that want to be where you are right now, I'm sure they're inspired by you. Just speak to them. For anybody that's like, gosh, I want to be in Lexe's shoes one day. I want to run a dance team for a professional football team, or I want to do this. I want to have my own dance studio. Give them some inspiration. Tell them it's okay. You can do this. If I did it, you can do it too.
Yeah, so for sure. So I did come from a single parent household, and we could not afford dance. And dance is really expensive. And I think that that's half of the reason why I opened up a dance studio, to let people know that you don't have to have money to have a passion. And I think that that's so important for people to understand and know, is that each of us in this world have a unique set of talents or responsibilities that we bring to the table. And maybe you think of it differently, but that is what is so cool about you. And if you just dig deep and push through, embrace the changes, I think that's another big thing, is embracing those changes. Because just like trees, we change. Like
Sure.
leaves, they fall off, like things happen in our lives, but the constant push and the motivation that you need to find throughout your own passion will definitely set you where you need to be.
Well, that's inspiring that you say that right there, Lexi, because it is. I always think to myself, I hope that everybody's able to find something that they enjoy doing, whether it's they consider it a hobby, like a broadcasting type of thing, or if it's a full-time gig that they're able to, take a hobby and make it into a full-time thing. I always hope that somebody can just find that passion and something that they enjoy, because there's a lot of people that aren't able to do that, unfortunately, in this life, Ed. And it's tough, but people like Lexi and they inspire people to keep going, keep striving, and there's a lot of people interested in doing stuff like she does, I guarantee.
Yes. I mean, never give up on your passion. Like you said, right, Lexi? Never give up on your love and what makes you happy and what makes you joyful.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
We don't just need just one of us in this world. We need you guys too. You know what I mean? Like, we all complete each other. Like, the entire Wranglers season, like, there are so many people backing this, and I'm so glad you guys are doing stuff like this, because you really don't put it into perspective until you see the people that are all behind it. Like, if they put everyone who is working on one game on that field, we would fill it and past it.
Oh, I don't doubt that whatsoever. There is so much support system that's required to put something on like this, especially with a full production like we have over at the Findlay Toyota Center. It's great stuff. Speaking of that, how excited is the dance team for Saturday night? They've been working all off season, and we are just days away from that home opener.
And can you give us a sneak preview, or you kind of hold it close to the vest on what you guys are going to bust out?
Yeah.
So we are so excited. I don't think, we just got all of our photo shoot photos back too.
Okay.
So this week has just been completely surprising, exciting, all of the shock, excitement. It's setting in for all of us. And I think it's so cool because you're going to see a mix of people who have always been performing their entire life and a mix of people who are new to dancing.
Sure.
And I think that that's so important for us to come together and then share that with you guys. So we're really excited. We are just over the moon excited. We can't wait to see you guys there. If you haven't gotten your tickets, get them as soon as possible, because seriously, it's just one of those experiences that you can never really know of until you actually experience it. You have to be there.
Yes.
Whether it's the tailgating, whether it's the routines that we do, whether it's the halftime shows. And that's another thing, is there is so many aspects to each of our games that maybe some people who are oh, it's just indoor football. It's not. There is so much more to that.
Oh, yes.
And that's why we're so excited, because we just love being a part of it.
Good stuff all the way around, Ed. Lexe Niekamp, the Mustangs Dance Coach. Pleasure to have you on here with us tonight. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for taking a little time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you.
And they'll be performing before, during, and after this Saturday's home opener against the Bay Area Panthers. It's going to be exciting. Make sure you get out there, as she said, to the Findlay Toyota Center on Saturday night. 6:05 kickoff against the Bay Area Panthers. Thank you again for joining us, Lexi.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Look
Go
forward
Wranglers.
to seeing you
Go
guys
Wranglers.
on Saturday night. Stay with us. One more segment to go as we close this one out here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. We'll be right back to the Colt Grill right after this.
Mosquitoes, ticks, pests, the worst. They can spread diseases. She goes round and round the whole yard, sometimes twice. Look at that toy. Yeah, the cobwebs. Fascinating. Danke, Orkin.
Welcome back to the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. Ed, it's been another great episode. We had a plethora of great guests, including Coach Moss, Darren Hungerford joined us, quarterback Kaleb Barker, and Lexe Niekamp, Mustangs Dance Coach. It was a jam-packed show.
It was. For 45 minutes or so, we had so much talent. Again, it went from the coaching staff to the players to the coach of the Mustangs.
Yes.
We actually got Lexe Niekamp in here.
We did. We
rolled out the red carpet for that young lady. She was great. So this just lets you know the quality of talent that we have in this organization for the Northern Arizona Wranglers. And again, it continues on Saturday with the Bay Area Panthers, James. It'll be our home opener, 6:05 on Saturday night.
We can't wait. It'll be broadcast live on the Indoor Football League YouTube channel. Make sure and get on there. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel so you can catch all of our content that we put out here as often as possible.
Yes, we've got a ton of content for you, ladies and gentlemen. So just as James said, continue to watch us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and as he mentioned on the YouTube channel, we've got so much great stuff in store for you. You have no idea what is in this man's mind, in my mind, and in Tucker Welch's mind.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
So just stay tuned. It's going to be a wild ride for the end of the season.
It would blow your mind indeed. For my analyst, Mr. Ed Cole, I'm James Poovey saying so long for now from the Colt Grill here in Prescott Valley. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be doing this every other Monday night. We'll be alternating, I believe, between this location and the brand new location in downtown Prescott. Stay with us throughout the season for more content right here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe. We're going to go get a sandwich. We'll talk to you again very soon.
Go Wranglers.